Bon, bonjour. Je fais en français, je pense. Bonjour, merci. Du coup, je suis là pour présenter MaDfly. You want to speak in English? Yeah. It's okay? English? Okay, no worries. I can present in English. So I'm here to present the company MaDfly and what we can do with drones for all the wind farm inspection. So MAD it's for marine drone services. So we are using drones in the maritime industry to make all kind of inspection, or not only inspection, also other services. We created the company in 2019. We are 3 co-founders of the company. And my 2 other associates are mariners, so they were doing, as marine officers, they were doing inspections. And they saw that it was complicated, dangerous, and not that satisfying in terms of quality of the inspections. So that's the reason why we created the company MaDfly, to use drones to be better. Our headquarters are in Nantes, so we are very close to here, and we went through the process of getting all the class certificates. So the main class societies, like Bureau Veritas, we started with them. They are French, we are French, so that was obvious. But then we went through the process also DNV, Lloyd's, RENA, Class NK, and ABS. Again, we are a service provider. That means that we are not developing drones. We are looking for all the technology that are existing or that are coming onto the market, and we select them if it's answering needs or requirements of the maritime industry. So that is our core values. That's obvious, but we try to be best and good in what we do, professional, and curiosity and humility is one of the main things, because you know, it's evolving every time, all the time, and so we have to follow up with all innovations. So the kind of services, and I will come back at the end with some video about the specific thing that we can do for the wind farm. So we can do external inspections. So that means all the standard drones that you will think about when we talk about drone. You think about the drone that are flying outside, that you can see almost everywhere. So with that we can do different things for wind turbine, but also flare, cranes. We can do thickness measurements, anti-pollution, standby surveillance, or gas detection. A lot of different things, and there is more and more sensor that we can bring, because the drone is really a tool to bring something somewhere that is difficult to reach. The drone itself is not doing anything. You can fly, but it's not doing anything. But the drone is there to bring a tool somewhere. Then we talk about confined spaces. Here you see there is a cage around the drone, so the drone is made to go into confined spaces, and there is no GPS on it, and we don't care because we are inside something, so there is no GPS. There is lights. The drone can go in any corner of ballast tank or blades, inside blades. You will see some video after. And so the drone is done for only confined spaces. And now we can do also thickness measurement. That can be outside, but that can be inside. And you see on the right side a drone with a UT sensor that we can see there, and with a LiDAR. So we have a 3D model live. So we see exactly where we are taking the thickness measurement. That is I would say it's a standard way of taking thickness measurements, but it's a lighter thing to be able to bring that with a drone. And then underwater inspection, that's also something that we are doing. There was a lot of ROVs, but very big ROVs for oil and gas. And since the last, I would say, 7 years, the mini ROVs develop a lot. And so we are doing more and more things. At the beginning, the mini ROVs were doing only visual inspection, but then no, we can do thickness measurement also underwater. We can check all the cathodic protection system, and we can do biofouling and different things. There is more and more tools that we can add to the mini ROVs. We can go deep in 300 meters, so it's quite deep where we can go. And we are also qualified to do class survey, so that means the BV or what we call in-water survey for vessels, like we did SOV hull inspections at sea in a wind farm. Twice we went in a UK wind farm, and so the SOV was at sea, and we arrived with the ROVs on board the SOV, and we did in the wind farm the class inspection. So that means for the client that he doesn't have to come back with the SOV into the port and stop the operation with the SOV. And we just stop the operation of the SOV during few hours, time that we are doing a class inspection. And then he's continuing his operation on the field. So that's a lot of time saving for the client. Come back, yes. So, and it's not only inspection that we can do, but we propose also the other services. So then sometimes clients are coming and have a problem. If I can take a few examples, these 3 examples are the main that I have. This one that was on a wind farm, and the maintenance manager text me and ask me, are you able to transport material with your drones? I say, yeah, okay, in the principle, yes, but you have to tell me more. And what weight, from where to where, in which conditions. So then we discuss. And we finalized with some tests, and then we did the job, transporting some light materials, from the wind turbine to the offshore substation, and then back to the wind turbine. The standard way of doing it means that you have a team that is going up the wind turbine, then go down in the CTV, go on the substation, go up, use the tool, then go back, down in the CTV, back to the wind turbine, and go up and down, and it's taking 3 hours. With a drone, it's only taking 1 hour. So you save a lot of time, fuel for the CTV, risk, because people, when you are doing butt landing, obviously it's a risk. So it's a lot of savings for the client. That is one of the example. And the second one is the Navy, the French Navy told us that they had problems with birds. And I didn't understand the problem that they had until they give me one figures: 3 tons of shit from the birds every year. And then you understand the problem that you can encounter with that. And that was in a year, so it's in a more or less confined spaces, and they try a lot of things. When I say confined spaces, meaning that there is 5 meters of concrete above that, so that means that you don't have GPS, you cannot go outside because you are in a Navy base, so you are not allowed to fly outside, so you have to remain inside, and that's make it more complicated for all the drones. So we define which solution, technical solution is the best, and then we test it. And we tested once, it was working. Then we tested for 1 season, it was working, and then we achieved the 3rd season this year. So that is the second one. And the third one, it's about cleaning. We had a client asking us, are you able to clean our vessels with your drones? On the principle, yes, but let's try. Yeah, this one took us few years to find the right solution to do it. But no, that's again the 3rd year that we are doing a full season, that is the summer season here, to clean the vessel. We clean the vessel 3 times a year. So we work mainly with Brittany Ferries. So that's a good company, and with 10 ferries. So that means that we do 30 cleanings per year for them. So that's what we can do. So we bring it brings us to this solution. You see on the right the cleaning that we are doing. In fact, it's a rust flow that we have, and then you see at the bottom the cleaning is quite obvious. At the very beginning, when we arrive, you see the vessel. As a customer, you say, "Okay, it's an old vessel," and then when you see it's clean, then it's better to go on board. You feel safer at least, and that's what we're looking for. But so we can clean other things like wind turbine. So we are able to achieve a lot of things in a lot of different areas. We went up to Singapore, for example, to make inspections. We work in Africa, we work in Europe, we work everywhere, and we have a few names that are big names for our clients. That is obvious, but I will come back on that. The reason of using drones, it's less dangerous because the drone is taking the risk. So if you talk, for example, about underwater inspection, you talk about risk, divers against ROVs, and if you do a dynamic test, for example, you will not do that with divers. You will do that if you do that with ROVs. If there is any issue, that's the matter of the drones and not of human. Asset immobilization, all of that, when you talk about costs in the maritime industry, cost is mainly remaining about asset immobilization because when you stop a wind turbine, it's 1,000 euros per hour. So if you inspect blades and you take climbers, it will take 1.5 days. If you use drone, it will last 1 hour. So it will be much cheaper. So the overall cost is reducing a lot. So here I did a slide for this presentation. So external inspection. So what we can do on wind farm, it's a blades visual inspection. We can do also lightning protection system check. We can do blades pitch check. If an orientation, if you switch 1 degree of one blade, at the end of the year, it's less 15,000 euros less of incomes. So that's a lot of money at the end of the year. And if it's more than 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, then it's becoming a technical issue because you're disturbing the wind turbine. You can do tower inspection, TP inspection, lightning system inspection because you have lights onto the wind turbine, and you have to check if it's working or not. So the drones can help to do that. internal inspection. The video are starting with that, but we can do internal inspection of the blades. So here you see the video. We can enter into the blades and fly into the blades. Here it's offshore wind blades, and it's a long one. So we can fly continuously. We can go everywhere we want. The drone is 500 millimeters wide, so it's almost it's less than the size of a human. So for sure, you can inspect more than what a human can do without any risk. It's quicker, and then you have all the video of that. So meaning that in 5 years after your inspection, then you can come back and see the status of the blades, these specific blades at this specific area. You can check what was the condition 5 years ago. So you have a follow-up like that. Or you can 5 years ago, because we are not doing that every year. But it can be every year if you want, if you prefer. Then I come back to the first video. I don't know why it was in this order, but here it's the inspection we did on Saint-Nazaire wind farm. And so you see the drone that will take off from the CTV. So it's quite a big drone. If you want to see the size, we have a stand over there, and you can see that. We fly at 5 meters away from the blades, and then the quality of the pictures are very, very good. In fact, you will see the quality. It's quite small, but the quality of the inspection, it's not that good, the quality here, but it's a very nice quality anyway when you see the pictures in real. And then we come back. It's taking between 30 and 45 minutes to inspect one wind turbine, so the 3 blades on the 4 faces of each blade, and 150 meters diameter. So it's very quick. And then underwater inspection, it's anchorage inspection. So here there is a little discovering that's the reason why I selected octopus that was on the anchor. So. But you see the quality of the images, it's very good. We have a 4K 4K camera. And then other services. So here you see we are taking off, that's what I was talking about. So we're taking off from the substation, and then we go on the wind turbine, and then we land on the wind turbine. So there is bigger drones with bigger weight that we can bring with us. So that's it for me, but if you have any question.